Tesla is once again dominating the news, but this time it's not a sleek electric car making the headlines. The buzz surrounds a $7,779 tiny house, a stark contrast to a housing market where the median home price is well over $400,000 and average monthly rents are pushing toward $1,800. The price tag is just the beginning of the conversation. Immediate questions spring up. Where is it even legal to put a dwelling this size? How will it be powered? What essential amenities can truly fit inside such a compact space? And, critically, is the headline-grabbing $7,179 truly the final, all-in cost? We're going to map out the realistic options for placement today. From putting it in your own backyard or an RV park, to going completely off-grid with solar power on a remote plot, or even mounting a mobile setup on a trailer. After that, we'll open the door to a truly space-efficient interior design that ensures every single inch is functional. Finally, we'll break down the numbers, tallying up hookups, predictable running costs, and the modest add-ons you'll need to make it modern and comfortable without totally draining your savings. You're watching Auto Fusion, the channel that skips the endless rumors and instead digs into all things Tesla with concrete data, clear numbers, and straight-up honest talk. If that approach appeals to you, please subscribe right now to help us on our mission to reach 10,000 subscribers, and definitely remember to turn on that notification bell. The question of how a $7,779 Tesla tiny house stacks up against the harsh realities of the housing market today produces an absolutely striking contrast. As we look at 2025, the median price for a United States home is firmly north of $400,000, and in numerous major metropolitan areas, that figure easily surpasses the $500,000 mark. For buyers who must rely on a conventional mortgage, coming up with even a standard 20% down payment means they have to find close to $80,000 in cash up front before they even worry about the first monthly mortgage payment. Renters aren't finding any relief from the financial pressure either. A very modest one-bedroom apartment is now averaging about $1,800 every month, which adds up to almost $22,000 annually just for the fundamental necessity of keeping a roof over one's head. Against this frankly daunting financial backdrop, the Tesla tiny house's entire sticker price is equal to only about 4 months of that national average rent. This massive price disparity is precisely why the concept resonates with so many people. For the equivalent cost of a decent used compact car, Tesla is offering what could be a legally livable dwelling unit. It's not trying to compete with luxury condominiums or large suburban 3-bedroom houses, and frankly, it doesn't need to. Its target market is perfectly clear: individuals whose primary goal is to minimize their housing expenditure. This includes retirees who are looking for a highly affordable downsizing option that avoids decades of ongoing property taxes, and younger buyers who have been completely shut out of the traditional real estate market but seek mobility and simplicity instead of a crushing 30-year mortgage debt. If and when Tesla successfully manages to scale up production and consistently deliver at that $7,779 price point, the tiny house sector could experience the very same kind of significant disruption that the entire auto industry saw when the initial $35,000 Model 3 first rolled off the production line. Would you seriously consider making a $7,779 Tesla tiny house your primary residence? Please comment 1 if you'd choose it as a viable place to live full-time and save significant money on housing. Comment 2 if you believe it only makes sense as a backup space or a side option rather than a main full-time home. And please, don't forget to share your thinking and your reasoning in the comments. We are eager to hear your honest perspective on this major shift. If its affordability is the main attractive element, then its practicality is the real test. A $7,879 house only makes sound financial sense if there is a realistic and legally clear answer to the next big question. So, where is it truly practical to place a $7,579 Tesla tiny house without encountering a wall of legal and zoning red tape? One of the most immediate and simplest solutions is simply in a homeowner's existing backyard. In the majority of states across the country, accessory structures that are under 400 square feet usually fall below the strict threshold that requires full-scale building permits, which conveniently allows current homeowners to add them without the headache of navigating complicated local zoning boards. This makes it an incredibly appealing option for something like a dedicated, private home office or a self-contained guest suite. To put the savings into sharp perspective, building a typical conventional backyard accessory dwelling unit, or ADU, can easily cost anywhere from $50,000 to over $100,000 once you factor in the high cost of materials, labor, and all the required permitting fees. A Tesla unit, priced at a small fraction of that cost, could easily save you tens of thousands of dollars, while also helping you avoid much of the local bureaucratic red tape. Another very practical pathway is to treat the unit officially like a recreational vehicle, RV. If it is classified as an RV, it then becomes legal in most states to situate it within established RV or trailer parks, which are locations where utilities are typically already fully integrated into the lot. These parks generally charge a monthly rate between $400 and $800 for a lot, depending entirely on the state and the specific amenities provided. Even at the higher end of that range, that figure is still less than half the cost of renting a basic one-bedroom apartment in many U.S. cities, where monthly rents are currently hovering near $1,800. For anyone like seasonal workers, retirees who enjoy traveling, or, frankly, anyone who has been financially priced out of urban housing, this specific RV option makes the Tesla choice look remarkably financially compelling. The possibility of an off-grid scenario is what truly highlights Elon Musk's much larger vision. In expansive regions like Arizona, Texas, and Nevada, undeveloped desert or extremely rural land can still be purchased for as little as $2,000 to $5,000 per acre. When you combine that land with Tesla's proprietary solar roof technology and an integrated Powerwall battery, it creates the enticing prospect of a completely self-sufficient lifestyle, potentially free from both regular utility bills and the burden of ongoing property taxes. For comparison, installing a traditional small cabin with its own solar and septic system can easily cost well over $50,000. While a consolidated Tesla package could potentially bring the cost of a fully functional setup down to below $15,000, which includes the cost of the land itself and the utility infrastructure. For younger people who are seeking true independence, or for retirees who are determined to permanently slash their fixed costs, that calculation is an incredibly powerful financial argument that is difficult to ignore. Finally, there is the simple option of keeping the house constantly mobile by mounting it directly on a trailer. Doing this keeps it legally classified as a mobile unit rather than a piece of real estate, which completely bypasses annual property taxes. It also provides the flexibility for owners to move between states as regulations or their own personal needs change over time. The primary trade-off is that the long-term comfort is often compromised because mobile setups frequently have less effective insulation and reduced structural stability compared to fixed dwellings. Still, for people already accustomed to RV living, the Tesla tiny house could easily function as a far higher-tech alternative, especially if it is intelligently paired with Starlink for guaranteed, always-on connectivity. When the goal is to make a 7,779 Tesla tiny house truly practical and livable, the first question on everyone's mind is naturally how you manage to power it effectively. The current design blueprint from Tesla suggests a compact 2 kWh solar roof paired with a downsized, smaller Powerwall mini battery unit. This specific setup is engineered to reliably cover all core functions, which include the lighting, the refrigeration, the use of a laptop, and even powering a small induction cooktop. In urban settings, the house could easily and directly tie into the local power grid, just like any other dwelling. However, in more remote off-grid locations, users would be relying on an energy buffer closer to 10 kilowatt-hours kWh of stored power, which is enough to provide for about 2 days of moderate use even without any sunshine. By comparison, a conventional, standard RV solar kit typically maxes out at only 1.2 kWh, which makes the comprehensive Tesla package almost double the baseline power capacity. Access to clean water presents a similar split challenge. If the unit is situated within a city, getting water is as straightforward as simply tapping into the existing municipal water lines, no different than a standard apartment setup. But if the house is placed on remote, undeveloped land or even on leased plots that completely lack existing infrastructure, the solution then shifts to using storage tanks and robust portable filtration systems. Industry estimates currently place the cost of a combined tank plus a high-quality filter system between $1,000 and $2,000, with a capacity of holding around 200 gallons. For a single occupant, that translates into roughly a week's supply before a necessary refill is required, which very closely mirrors the capacity of mid-range camper systems, but often with a significantly higher filtration quality. Connectivity for the internet is the critical third pillar of this equation. And here, Tesla intelligently leans on Elon Musk's other successful company. Starlink is the clear and obvious choice to serve as the technological backbone. consistently offering average download speeds between 100 and 150 megabits per second, Mbps, for a cost of approximately $120 per month. That high speed is more than sufficient to handle seamless 4K video streaming, high-quality video calls, and demanding remote work without any annoying bottlenecks. Crucially, unlike traditional fiber or cable, the Starlink coverage extends deeply into the rural zones where the majority of tiny homes are most likely to be located. This high degree of integration, solar power for electricity, modular and flexible water options, and robust satellite internet strongly suggests that the true game-changing breakthrough of Tesla's 2026 tiny house isn't solely the incredibly low $7,779 entry price, but whether these essential supporting systems can be scaled affordably for the vast number of buyers who deeply desire the flexibility of both city-connected and completely off-grid living options. Moving inside this $7,179 home, the next big question is what essential amenities are included to keep your everyday life truly comfortable and highly functional. The most logical and effective way to make a small home function beautifully is to concentrate all of the necessary heavy lifting into a single dedicated location. Everything in this design starts with a single utility wall running along one side, acting as the home's organizational spine. This spine intelligently groups the small kitchen area, a convenient under-counter fridge, the main electrical panel, a compact battery with its inverter, and the water filter system. Keeping all of these crucial services in one organized line drastically simplifies all of the required wiring and plumbing, and strategically placing it near the main entry ensures that maintenance can be performed easily without seriously disrupting daily life inside the unit. With the full cost picture now clarified, the most intelligent next question becomes where to place the unit, so that those savings can genuinely show up in your life and you can realize the full benefit that completes the whole financial picture. A $7,779 shell only truly transforms into a real home when you strategically pair it with the absolutely right location, a simple, low-cost utility plan, and a smart interior design that makes every inch work hard for you. Now, you need to pick your lane, carefully run all the numbers for your area, meticulously check the local rulebook, and then you can start to enjoy the freedom of a small space with low, predictable costs. Now, we want to know what you would do. Please drop an A if you would fully live in it full-time. Drop a B if you would only use it as a backup studio or a flexible guest space. Share your city, your chosen placement strategy, and exactly how you would set it up in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching Autofusion. Please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to help us reach our big goal of 10,000 subscribers. We will see you next time in the deep dive.